الحمد لله الذي أبدع الأفلاك والأرضين، والصلاة على من كان نبيا وآدم بين الماء والطين، وعلى آله وأصحابه وأهل بيته أجمعين. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير. آمنت بالله صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم، ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاكرين والشاهدين، والحمد لله رب العالمين. ببركة إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم وصل عليه. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله، وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا حبيب الله. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله، وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا رحمة للعالمين. One more time from the depths of your heart. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله، وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا خاتم النبيين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. After praising Allah Almighty Jalla Jalaluhu and sending infinite peace and salutations upon Sayyid al-Anbiya wal Mursaleen, Sayyid al-Kawnain, Sayyid al-Awwaleen wal Akhirin, Sultan Madinah, Noor Sina, Ahmad Mustafa wal Mujtaba sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we have to understand that this whole journey of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj, this journey which took place from Masjidul Haram in Makkah al-Mukarramah to Baytul Maqdis, Masjidul Aqsa in Jerusalem, and then from Baytul Maqdis, Masjidul Aqsa, past the seven heavens, past Sidratul Muntaha, to that place which is known as La Zaman and La Makkah, that place which has no time and no place. This whole journey did not take place so that every year the Muslims can gather and narrate the story. That's why the journey, or that's not why the journey happened. So that people can gather and narrate the story, that this is what happened, this is what happened. Rather, lessons can be learned from this miraculous journey and event. Lessons. And in particular, 3 lessons. Usually this is the khulasa, the conclusion you give at the end. But because time is short, I want you to at least leave with the lessons of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj. The lessons that we learn. And I'm not restricting them to 3. Rather, for my own vijdan, from the limited knowledge that I have, my understanding is that we learn 3 key lessons from this event of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj. Number 1 is this. The first lesson is regarding the rank and the honor that Allah Almighty gave to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The rank and the honor, maqam and martaba, that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was given by Allah Almighty. And this is constantly highlighted throughout this journey which took place on this beautiful night. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam's rank and status. So much so was his status that on this night he became the leader of the prophets and the messengers. Hence why he is known by this title of Sayyidul Anbiya wal Mursaleen. Sayyid Tamana, leader of the prophets and the messengers. This is the first lesson that we learn. The second lesson that we learn is regarding the rank and the status of the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. your and my status, your and my rank and honor, that Allah Almighty. See, Awais Qadri is coming, you have 5 minutes left. MashaAllah. Huh? Allah. Good thing I started with the lesson then, isn't it? Story to har bande suni. Everybody's heard that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was in the Hatim, they were resting. Their eyes were closed, but their heart was awake. How he's not like you and me. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, annahu kana tanamu aynuhu wa la yanamu qalbuhu. Bukhari Sharif ki hadith. He was sitting there, he was waiting. Or he was resting. He Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was resting. His eyes were closed, but his heart was awake. Jibreel came and he awoke Nabi Alayhi Salatu Wasallam. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Habiballah, first and foremost, Allah Almighty is giving you salam. Allah Almighty is giving you salam. And not only is Allah giving you salam, but Allah Almighty has asked me to take you on this beautiful journey. You see, Musa Alayhi Salatu Wasallam asked for the vision of Allah Almighty. And what did Allah say? Lan tarani, Musa, you cannot see. Musa requested for the vision. Musa did dua for the vision. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not request, nor did he ask. Allah Almighty called him. Allah Almighty requested for his presence in the court of Allah, his rank and status, his honor and maqam. Then ultimately Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was taken to the water of Zamzam. You see, I'm going to do all this in 5 minutes. He was taken to the well of Zamzam, to the water of Zamzam. Then his chest was open. And Imam Suyuti rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi mentions that when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's chest was open, blood did not come out, rather Noor came out. And this Noor and light filled the whole valleys of Makkah al Mukarramah. And you could see that the Noor was emanating from the city of Makkah. He Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is not like you and me. Then his blessed heart was strengthened. Wisdom was poured into his heart. Alam nashrah laka sadrak. That did we not expand for you your heart, Ya Rasulullah? Or they go point of Aqidah here as well. Point of Aqidah. The Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's heart didn't need to be strengthened. It was already strengthened. لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله. Allah says in the Quran that if we were to reveal one ayat of the Quran on a mountain, then the mountains would have shattered into pieces. One ayat, one verse of the Quran. What is the rank and the status of the heart of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? The not one ayat was revealed on his heart. 6,666 verses of the Quran were revealed on the heart of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. His heart didn't need to be strengthened. It was already strengthened. My Aqidah and Ishq Muhammad tells me that why was it that Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam's heart was washed with the water of Zamzam? It was washed in order to give Zamzam water this sharaf and maqam. To give the Zamzam water rank and status. It already had status. It had this nisbat with the heels of Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. But his rank was going to increase now, because it was going to have nisbat with the heart of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam's heart didn't need purifying, rather the water of Zamzam needed purifying. And today when we drink the water of Zamzam, just have this wijdan in your mind. When we drink the water of Zamzam, we are drinking that water which has nisbat with the blessed heart of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Aqidah. This is how you look at it. Then the buraq is bought. This animal that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was given, larger than a donkey, smaller than a mule. And as we know that this buraq could take a step as far as it could see. And this word buraq comes from the word barqun, meaning lightning. And this was an animal from Jannatul Firdaus. An animal from Jannah coming onto the earth. And this animal, this buraq, was made from light as well. And this buraq was bought by Sayyidina Jibreel, who's also made from light as well. And the one who sat on the buraq, he's also made from light as well. Nurun ala nur. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is also sitting on this buraq as well. Tirmizi Sharif ki riwayat, time is short now, they've given me the indication. Lekin Imam Tirmizi mentions Sayyidina Anas bin Malik radiyallahu ta'ala, who is the narrator. Now when the buraq was brought to the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the buraq became a bit shy. It began to shield away from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When Sayyidina Jibreel saw that the buraq was shielding away from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Jibreel said to the buraq that nobody more honorable than Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has ever ridden you before. Nobody more honorable. Again, his rank and status, his maqam and martaba. Nobody more honorable. Oh, Buraq has ridden you before and nobody will ride you after as well. When the Buraq heard this, it began to break into a sweat. It realized the magnitude of the great zat and personality that it was going to carry from Masjidul Haram to Masjidul Aqsa. Then they go towards Masjidul Aqsa. This is now me fast forwarding, yes? You've heard this story before. This is still regarding the maqam and martaba of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Lessons that we learned. And the second lesson I said was what? The rank and status of the ummah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I forgot to mention 3 is sunnah. The third biggest lessons that we learn from this night of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj is that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the aqidah of the Ahl Sunnati Wal Jama'ah. The aqidah of the Ahl Sunnati Wal Jama'ah. And that aqidah is first proven on this journey from Masjidul Haram to Masjidul Aqsa. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam sees 4 things on this way. On this journey from Makkah to Jerusalem. Number 1, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam stops at the city of the date palms. Yani the city of Yathrib. Again, they dismount the Buraq. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is told to offer 2 units of prayer here. And he turns to Sayyidina Jibreel, he said, Jibreel, where is this or what is this land? And Jibreel said, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Habiballah, this is the land that you will migrate to. Remember, I forgot to mention, Nadir Bhai's got me on my toes. Not got me on my toes. Lekin, I forgot to mention, this night of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj took place on the 27th of Rajab, 1 year before the hijrah from Makkah to Madinah to Makkah. And yesterday I got really vexed. Very rarely do I get angry. Got really vexed yesterday. A certain Dr. Bilal Phillips, and I'll take his name openly. He wrote on Facebook that you cannot commemorate and celebrate the night of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj. Why? Because it's not proven anywhere that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam went on this journey on the 27th of Rajab, 1 year before Hijrah. This is what he wrote on his Facebook. And to him I give this presentation of 2 narrations where it's mentioned. And the ulama have agreed. Those who have written the books of Seerah, they have agreed that this journey no doubt took place on the 27th of Rajab. And it took place 1 year before the Hijrah from Makkah to Madinah to Makkah. Imam Abu Zakaria al-Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala. Imam Nawawi, he has mentioned this in his Sharah, his commentary of the Sahih of Imam Muslim. And Imam Muslim is the student of Imam Bukhari. One narration. And Hamare Dada Ustad, Huzur Ziyadumat rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, who was the direct student of Ustad al-Ulama, Hazrat Allama Na'imuddin Murad Baadi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. And Hazrat Allama Na'imuddin Murad Baadi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, they were a student of Sayyidi Ala Hazrat Imam Ahl-Sunnat Imam Ahmad Riza alayhi. This is our Sunnat and our chain. Huzur Ziyadumat rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, they mentioned there, Ziya un-Nabi Sharif, the 7-volume book on the Seerah of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Masterpiece. Masterpiece, which is now also available in English as well. They also do nakal and transmit in this book of their Ziya un-Nabi Sharif. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam went on this night journey on the 27th of Rajab, 1 year before the hijrah from Makkah to Mukarramah to Madinah to Makkah. These people, they need their minds testing. They need their minds examining. Ma'azallah, how can you not celebrate such a blessed night? Or they go, you see, I'm rushing now. For the ummah, for you and me, our greatest night is Laylatul Qadr. Laylatul Qadr khayrun min alfi shahr. That night which is better than 1,000 months. So ulama says. Although ulama like the great Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, who remember was that great man of Allah Almighty, who saw Allah Almighty over 500 times in his dream. Again, Imam Zahabi mentioned this in his Sirul A'lam Nubala. Or Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal was that great Imam that he narrated or he knew over 1 million ahadith by heart. Imam Ahmad bin Hanbal radiyallahu ta'ala, they mentioned that the night which is greater than Laylatul Qadr is the night that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was born. The night which is greater than Laylatul Qadr is the night that Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent to humanity. Yani the night of Ara Rabiul Awwal. This is more afdal and greater than the night of Laylatul Qadr. If it wasn't for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there would be no Laylatul Qadr. If it wasn't for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there would be no Ramadan. If it wasn't for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there would be no Salah. If it wasn't for Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you and me wouldn't be sitting here. वो जो ना थे तो कुछ ना था, वो जो ना हो तो कुछ ना हो. जान है वो जहान की, जान है तो जहान है. Nabi Islam was created. That's why the whole of humanity was made. Allah Almighty was Kanz al-Makhfi, and He was a hidden treasure. He wanted to be known to humanity. And what did He create? He created the Noor of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Or yet they know, where does this all come from? Where is this extremist Sunni coming from? We're coming from the Quran. Surah Al-Ma'idah, Surah number 5, verse number 15. Allah Almighty says, قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ نُورٌ وَكِتَابٌ مُبِينٌ. That indeed there has come to you from Allah a light and a clear book as well. Or Imam Ibn Jarir At-Tabari rahimahullah ta'ala. Or other Mufassirin as well, people like Imam Fakhruddin Razi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, and the great Imam Ismail Haqqi or Imam Mahmud Al-Lusi Al-Baghdadi rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. They mention in their tafsir that here Noor, Surah Al-Ma'idah, Surah number 5, verse number 15. You see, we have to do this today. You have certain again doctors on TV who mesmerize people with the dropping in the codes here, there and everywhere. We can do that as well. You're not some of them are just people who sit around eating langar all day. That's all the Sunnis do at the moment. No. We are here to defend the maqam and martaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The azmat and the shan and the rank and status of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Spend your whole life doing this. Dil hai wo dil jo teri yaad se maamur raha. Sar hai wo sar jo tere qadmon pe qurban hua. This is our life. This is our rank and status. This is who we are. We are the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas. Ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar wa tu'minu billah. We are the best of all nations. How low we have come now. How we have gone into a state of regression and decline. How today we don't even know our own rank and status and value. And then we are from that ummah which will be the greatest ummah on the day of Qiyamah. We are that ummah that even Musa was making dua that, oh Allah, make me from Ummati Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are that ummah. But today we have youngsters who have gone onto the wrong path, who don't know who they are anymore. This identity crisis. We have more youth in the clubs and the pubs. Let me take a line out of my brother's speech. We have more youngsters today, and this is the reality. In the clubs and the pubs and the shisha lounges. We have more sisters in Baghdad and Behayai then we have people in the house of Allah Almighty. Why is this? But when it comes to the dunya, when it comes to time for our studies, and it comes to examinations, we put in all the effort and all the time that we have. But when it comes to the Rasul of Allah, when it comes to Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have no time. And when was the last time we remembered sallallahu alayhi wasallam? We sat down truly and said 100 darud salawat upon him. Not for the sake that we can post it on YouTube or post it on Facebook and Twitter. Today I've sent 100 durood salawat on Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sincerely from the heart. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam spent his whole life remembering you and me. He went on this miraculous journey. He was in Masjid al-Aqsa. All of the Anbiya were giving their khutbah. The khitab, they were addressing the prophets and the messengers. Our Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam stood up. All I have with me, Qadi Yaz al-Shifa bi ta'rifi huquq al-Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam mentioned the ummah 3 times in Masjid al-Aqsa. You are my rank and status. How low we have become today. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, وَجَعَلَ أُمَّتِي خَيْرَ أُمَّتِي. That he made this ummah the best of all ummah. He is remembering you and me in the presence of the prophets and the Anbiya and the Rusul. We've neglected our deen, we've neglected our religion. We don't know who we are anymore. We think that deen is a part-time religion. But Allah says in the Quran, when you enter into Islam, you enter wholeheartedly. أُدْخُلُوا فِي السِّلْمِ كَافَّةً. This isn't something that you just put a dress on and then you become a Muslim. This deen isn't something that's part-time. When you feel like it, then I'll practice. When you don't feel like it, then I won't practice. This deen is that religion, that deen, that Islam, that 24/7, 365 days a year, you are a Muslim. Know your value and status. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam again on this night, he said, وَجَعَلَ أُمَّتِي أُمَّةً وَسَطًا. Praise be to Allah Almighty. Again, time doesn't permit. Another buys 5 minutes and a Pakistani 5 minutes as well, I think. मियाँ में पसीना कराया जल्दी जल्दी लग गया वहाँ दौड़ दौड़. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam praised Allah Almighty for making this ummah the middle ummah, the best ummah, not an ummah which is extreme, not a nation which is sakht in its mazaj, which is harsh in its nature, but rather this is a ummah khayrul umuri awsatuha Or kama qala alayhi salatu wasalam. Shah Waliullah Muhaddis, there we mentioned is Arba'een, this hadith sharif from Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the best of all ways is the middle way, the middle path. This is the way that we are. Or Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Masjid al-Aqsa mentions, وَجَعَلَ أُمَّتِي هُمَ الْأَوَّلُونَ وَهُمُ الْآخِرُونَ. All praise be to Allah Almighty that He made this ummah. He made this ummah from amongst those who were the first and from amongst those who were the last as well. This is the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the nation of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is our rank and status. Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas. We are the best of our nation. And how low we have become today. When it comes to drugs and alcohol, we are at the forefront. When it comes to gambling, prostitution, we are at the forefront. Our forefathers, those who came before us, the great masters of the Middle East and the great masters of Europe as well. When Europe was in dark ages, they turned to Islam for guidance. Today we have abandoned that legacy. We were at the forefront of medicine, technology. We are at the forefront of science, everything. But today we've abandoned everything. We've abandoned that message I was given at the beginning, which is ilm, knowledge. And as I can see, our chief guest, alhamdulillah, is here. From them I have 45 more minutes. So I can give and conclude my pagham. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is traveling from Masjid al-Haram to Masjid al-Aqsa. They see four things on the way. Number one is the land of the date palms. Yani the city of Yathrib. Here they offer 2 units of prayer. Then they go to Bethlehem, the land where Sayyidina Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is born. Again, they dismount the Burak and they offer 2 units of prayer here. And then they go to the mountain of Tur. Yet some of the Tur got his maqam martaba because the Torah was revealed upon this mountain. Tur got his maqam martaba because Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam read 2 nafal on this particular mountain. Watini was Zaytun. Anything that has a nisbat with Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Almighty mentions this in the Quran. La uqsimu bihazal balad wa anta hilkum bihazal balad wa walidin wa ma walad la'amruka innahum lafi sakratihim ya'mahun wal 'asr innal insana lafi khusr. When it comes to the zaman of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Almighty takes qasam in the Quran. When it comes to the maqam of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Almighty takes qasam of this in the Quran. When it comes to the amr, the life of Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Almighty takes qasam of this in the Quran. Anything that has a nisbat with Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah Almighty takes a qasam by this in the Quran. Again to show his rank and status, his maqam and martaba. He is the best of all prophets. And then what he does, he sallallahu alaihi wasallam says the 4th thing. Maraktu Musa, I passed by Musa on this night of Isra. وَهُوَ قَائِمٌ يُسَلِّي فِي قَبْرِهِ. And Musa was standing and he was praying in his grave. Time doesn't permit to just mention the point of Aqidah here. I will just do ishara. Today we have people who say, Ma'azallah, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is dead. The Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not alive anymore. That his body has been mixed with the earth, the soil of the earth. Ma'azallah. And if Musa is alive in his grave, not only alive in his grave, but he's standing in his grave. Not only standing in his grave, but he's praying to Allah Almighty as well. And if Musa has this maqam or martaba, that he is alive in his grave, then no doubt Ibrahim has this maqam or martaba as well. If Ibrahim has this maqam or martaba, no doubt Dawood alayhi salam has this maqam or martaba as well. If Dawood alayhi salam has this maqam or martaba, no doubt Sayyidina Sulaiman alayhi salam has this maqam or martaba as well. And then no doubt from all of the Anbiya and the Mursaleen, if they are alive in their graves, then the leader of the prophets and the messengers is also alive in his grave. Tu zinda hai wallah, tu zinda hai wallah, mere chashme alam se chup jaane wale. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam is alive, no doubt. It's just there is a veil on our hearts. There is a veil on our eyes. Eventually Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam gets to Masjid al-Aqsa, and this is where I will finish. All of the Anbiya are waiting. Each and every one of them have a rank and a status. They have a claim to the sajjada. Adam alayhi salatu wasalam is Abu Bashr. He is the father of mankind. No doubt he has a right to stand at the musalla, but he doesn't. Ibrahim is Khalilullah. He is the intimate friend of Allah Almighty. Again, he has the right to stand at the musalla, but he doesn't. Sulaiman alayhi salam, who was given the control of the wind and the jinat and the insan, so on and so forth, he has a right to stand on the musalla, but he doesn't. Zabiullah Sayyidina Ismail alayhi salam has a right to stand on the musalla, but he doesn't. Ruhullah Sayyidina Isa alayhi salam, who has a right to stand on the musalla, he doesn't. Kalimullah Musa alayhi salam, who spoke to Allah Almighty, has a right to stand on the musalla, but he doesn't. Each and every one of them are sitting, standing, waiting. who is going to lead them in the prayer? Who is going to stand and lead all of the prophets in the prayer? And the one who is stepped forward or moved forward by Jibreel alayhi salam is not other than your prophet or my prophet, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam is leading the Anbiya and the Mursaleen in the prayers. Today they say, Ma'azallah, again, they get to emphasize the point, the Aqidah of the Ahli Sunnah, that Allah Almighty, or the people say today in society, that Ma'azallah, he's like you and me. He's like you and me, he's just a man. That's what they say today in society. But Allah Almighty wanted to highlight and demonstrate to the whole of mankind that my Prophet, my Rasul, my beloved is not like you or me. Why? Because the pinnacle of Allah Almighty's creation are the Anbiya and the Mursaleen, are the prophets and the messengers. And who is it that's leading the prophets and the messengers? None other than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Gosh, if there was only more time, we would have opened more, even more, into this beautiful journey of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj. Lately, I feel that it's sufficient here to stop and obviously give time to our honorable guest, Al-Hajj Muhammad Bashr. Allah Almighty accept our gathering here. Allah Almighty accept our love and muhabbat towards Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Just to quickly emphasize 3 lessons that we learned from this blessed night of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj. First is the maqam and martaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam that he is given by Allah Almighty. Number 2 is the rank and honor of the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which is highlighted and demonstrated on this night of 27th of Rajab. And the last one is the Aqidah of the Ahli Sunnati wal Jama'ah. Inshallah azza wa jalla, on another occasion, we'll talk about the Miraj. This was just Al-Israa. And Allah Almighty mentions all of this in the Quran. Subhanallazi asra bi'abdihi laylan min al-masjid al-haram ila al-masjid al-aqsa allazi barakna hawlahu linuriyahu min ayatina. Allah Almighty, accept the ways that I have said. Wa ma alayna illa al-balagh. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah allazi abda'a al-aflaq wal-ardin. والصلاة على من كان نبيا وآدم بين الماء والطين وعلى آله وأصحابه وأهل بيته أجمعين. أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من journey happened. So that people can gather and narrate the story, that this is what happened, this is what happened. Rather, lessons can be learned from this miraculous journey and event. Lessons. And in particular 3 lessons. Usually this is the khulasa, the conclusion you give at the end. But because time is short, I want you to at least leave with the lessons of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj. The lessons that we learn. And I'm not restricting them to 3. Rather, for my own wijdan, from the limited knowledge that I have, my understanding is that we learn 3 key lessons from this event of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj. Number 1 is this. The first lesson is regarding the rank and the honor that Allah Almighty gave to the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. The rank and the honor. Sultan Madinah, Noor Sina, Ahmad Mustafa wal Mujtaba sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We have to understand that this whole journey of Al-Israa Wal Miraaj, this journey which took place from Masjid al-Haram in Makkah al-Mukarramah to Baytul Maqdis, Masjid al-Aqsa in Jerusalem. And then from Baytul Maqdis, Masjid al-Aqsa, past the 7 heavens, past Sidratul Muntaha, to that place which is known as La Zaman and La Makkah, that place which has no time and no place. This whole journey did not take place so that every year the Muslims can gather and narrate the story. That's why the journey, or that's not why the alayka ya sayyidi ya Rasulullah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya sayyidi ya Habiballah. As-salatu was-salamu alayka ya sayyidi ya Rasulullah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya sayyidi ya rahmatan lil alameen. One more time from the depths of your heart. الصلاة والسلام عليك يا سيدي يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا سيدي يا خاتم النبيين. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. After praising Allah Almighty Jalla Jalaluhu and sending infinite peace and salutations upon Sayyid al-Anbiya wal Mursaleen, Sayyid al-Kawnayn, Sayyid al-Awwaleen wal Akhirin, ayatina innahu huwas sami'ul basir. آمنت بالله صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاكرين والشاهدين والحمد لله رب العالمين. ببركة إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا ومولانا محمد وبارك وسلم عليه. الصلاة والسلام